Welcome to the Mustang Champions Insights Podcast, connecting audiences with those who work with, train, and compete with American Mustangs. Join us as we talk to fellow Mustang champions about their perspectives and experiences in working with Mustangs as companions and champions. Here's your host, Matt Manroe.
I would like to welcome you to the first Mustang Champions Insights Podcast. Mustang Champions is a nonprofit working in partnership with the Bureau of Land Management Wild Horse and Burro program to help get Mustangs that have been gathered off the range to get them adopted and purchased and into private care, into homes. My name is Matt Manroe. I'm Executive Director of Mustang Champions. And with this podcast, we hope to introduce you to people from different backgrounds and experiences that currently own or have worked with and trained Mustangs for competitions, for workhorses, or just to be great companion horses. We want you to understand the differences between Mustangs and most domestic horses and how versatile they can be. I hope that you'll learn more and maybe one day own a Mustang of your own. I'm here today with Marsha Sapp. Marsha is an advocate for American Mustangs. She has personal experience in creating Mustang Champions and understands the difference you can make in the life of a Mustang and how Mustangs just might make a difference in your own life. Welcome, Marsha.
Thank you so much for having me, Matt. I'm really excited to be part of this podcast. And of course, as always, being able to advocate for the American Mustang.
And Marsha, you and I have known each other for years, and I have watched you personally in competition. I have watched you demonstrating the extreme talents of your, I will call him your hero Mustang. That might be putting words in your mouth. But first of all, let's start and just talk a little bit about your background in riding and how you even got into the Mustang world.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up riding, of course. I grew up riding and showing a variety of different types of horses. Like any kid, I did all of the open shows, the fair shows. I did showing in Western and English, in jumping and eventing and pony club and dressage and quarter horses and, you name it. As a kid growing up, I certainly was very versatile with the showing of horses and the training of show horses. And when I went to college, I had to take a step back and really decided to focus on dressage as what I wanted to do as a discipline with horses, because that's all I had time for. I didn't feel like I was fit enough in order to pursue jumping the same time I was in college. I didn't think it was fair to the horses or myself. So really, I was in my early 20s when I really fell in love with dressage itself. Through college and through my early years as a riding professional, we did a variety of show horses, which was mainly dressage and hunters, as I moved down here to Florida. And it was in 2009 that the Extreme Mustang Makeover came across my radar, and it was sent to me in an email that another horse trainer sent to me. And it was a training competition where you could get a wild Mustang and have it for 100 days, find a home for it at the end of it via a competitive auction, and win prize money. And at that point, as a young horse trainer in 2009, the economy was not great. And I thought that a training competition winning money would be excellent. I thought a competition using wild Mustangs sounded right up my alley. I've done colt starting for years before that, but I've never even seen a wild Mustang. And I was curious. I was really curious what a wild Mustang was like. I was curious to see if my training program would be able to develop a horse straight out of the wild. I was curious to see what the horses could do. So I was all in 2009. They had a competition in Florida. I had a intern trainer with me at the time. I got her to sign up. So we hooked up a horse trailer and we went to the pickup site and got 2 wild Mustangs. And since then, doing the initial competition, I was certainly hooked on it. I really liked the horses. I was amazed by the trainability of the horses and continued to train probably no less than 4 to 6 Mustangs a year for the next 10 to 15 years. So I've been involved with the Extreme Mustang Makeover since 2009, and I think my last competition was 2022. So 2009 to 2022 is a lot of Mustangs.
So if you were to express a difference between your Mustangs and a domestic horse, what might be a simple way to just, or not simple way to kind of describe that difference?
To me, a wild horse has more connection to a handler and a human than domestic horses, and they're genetically engineered to be that way. Any animal that's raised in the wild and is raised in a herd setting has to be able to get along with others to survive. There's that desire and ability to get along. So the trainability of the horses is huge, and the heart of the horses is huge. And their connection to people is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And their ability to connect with a human and team up with a human in such a short period of time, I had never experienced before. I mean, I've never seen any horse develop in a training program the way that I've seen a Mustang do it.
You just happen to have a USEF champion horse in your barn. Tell us a little bit about that Mustang. Tell us about Cobra.
So one of the first Mustang makeovers that I did, not the first horse, but one of the subs, I got a black bay gelding named that we later named Cobra that came in for an Extreme Mustang makeover. It was a 6-year-old horse that had come out of the buck and bald herd in Nevada as part of that Mustang makeover. It was one of 2 horses that I trained that year. There was actually 3 that year. And he was a large gelding, about 15'2", that we used for the makeover. And the horse was astonishingly athletic. A very good moving horse, learned lead changes in a matter of minutes, did great lateral work, and just had a presence about him that was unbelievable. After the Mustang makeover was completed, that horse came home with me, as well as the other gelding that I had trained that year. And they got turned out to pasture because I knew I had other plans for those 2 horses. And Cobra was brought back into work about 6 months after the Extreme Mustang makeover, after he had a break from work. And I decided to start showing dressage with the horse. As a young trainer, I wanted to show some USDF dressage. I wanted to get my medals. I didn't have access to a whole lot of well-trained horses, but I did have that Mustang sitting out in the pasture that did all the lateral work, that could do a flying change, that I thought could do reasonably well to go out and do a little bit of showing. So that horse I did show through FEI Intermediate 1. That was the horse I rode in order to earn my silver medal on, which is pre St. George. It's an FEI level. That horse later went on to win numerous world champion titles, numerous national titles. And in 2018, Cobra was the USEF National Horse of Honor. And that is an award that's voted across the board for all USEF disciplines, not just dressage. And it was the first time that a Mustang had ever been nominated for an award like that. So it was a very historic sort of achievement that horse was able to obtain. He was also the first Mustang to ever win a world title, and he's won several of those. He's probably won about 12 national titles in 2 different disciplines. And he is also a Breyer model horse, which happened because of his success through dressage and Western dressage as well. So the horse standing in my barn, and he still lives with me. He still lives in the barn today, has probably won more awards than most horses could ever dream of. Just a very successful Mustang.
And I saw you at Breyer Fest and in the ring, and he is magnificent, and he is proud of himself, and he is very fun to watch. Very fun to watch.
He is. A lot of charisma.
A lot of charisma. So last year, Mustang Champions had their first English discipline competition in Rolex Stadium at the Kentucky Horse Park. And you, thankfully, and thank you again, were our commentator for that event. And you brought an expertise and a voice not only as an experienced English discipline dressage rider, you have jumped in your life, but also as a Mustang advocate. And your perspective was terrific for that event. Talk to us a little bit about what you thought about that first Mustang Classic event.
Well, it was a great historic start for the American Mustang. It was an amazing venue at the Kentucky Horse Park. The Mustang Classic really was able to highlight a lot of the things that Mustangs do and do well. Over on the West Coast, these Mustang horses are being used for eventing very frequently. You see them very commonly in the pony clubs with the kids jumping and doing the games and doing dressage. We don't see as much of that over here on the East Coast. So to see such a diverse group of Mustangs and such a diverse group of trainers all come together and showcase the athletic ability of these horses in the English discipline was definitely one of a kind. I think on the edge of my seat the whole time, watching the horses from going down the center line and doing their dressage tests and seeing the horses jump rounds of jumps, and beautifully, mind you, and then seeing the horses do working equitation and all come back and then showcase the horses in a freestyle. It was an amazing event. It was entertaining, it was inspiring, and it was just probably one of the neater things that I've seen done with Mustangs, being able to enjoy seeing them in an all-English discipline.
And so I know, and again, thank you. You're going to join us again this September. Mustang Classic this year is September 4 through 6, again in Rolex Stadium at the Kentucky Horse Park. Similar preliminary events of training level dressage, show jumping, and working equitation. And again, our finals are freestyle. But I mean, what are you looking forward to this year versus maybe last?
So this year, I'm assuming that the competitive edge is going to be higher. I know that our competitors are coming in really well prepared with really spectacular horses that they've been training throughout the year for this event. I am assuming we're going to see the dressage highlighted in this year's event as was last year. I think that we're going to see horses that have that are able to demonstrate their ability for suitability for eventing and show jumping. I also expect to see a wow factor in the freestyles too. I mean, I think it's going to be a monumental event. The prize money is huge this year. The amount of trainers that are coming with really well-trained horses, I think, is going to be spectacular. And I suspect it's really going to be something that everyone across the U.S. is going to dial in to see. And I hope people come and see it in person, because to see it makes the hair stand up on my arms. Like, it's so exciting to see the horses in person. But what's also exciting is that you offer a live streaming for people to dial in to see the horses no matter where you are in the United States, and to watch the event unfold as it happens. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I don't know what to expect, but knowing the group of trainers and knowing the people that are putting on this show, I expect it to be spectacular.
Well, and just thinking about the versatility of Mustangs, we've had quite a few competitors that have entered both our Western competition, which was in Vegas just recently at South Point Arena, and are bringing the same horse to the Mustang Classic. And it's a bit crazy to see how they are able to do and compete in both competitions, and how successful they can be. So, Marsha, is there anything else you want to say or talk about?
Well, there's so much to talk about that's happening in the world today, and there's so much that's happening with Mustangs and this organization. The only thing that I can say really is how excited I am that we have live streaming available for this event. I think it's going to bring a lot more people in to be able to see and highlight the horses. I want everyone to take advantage of it. I want people to come in person and support the trainers in person, because there's nothing like a live audience. But I mean, I think it's monumental that the live streaming is going to be available for those that aren't going to be able to attend. I know I'm excited. I know that it's going to be an amazing time. Last year was spectacular. It was incredible to watch, and the weather was perfect. So, I mean, I expect for it to be 5 times as great this year.
Well, thank you very much for joining me on this first podcast. It's an honor, and look forward to seeing you in September. And thank you very much for listening.
No, and I'm honored to be part of it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mustang Champions Insights podcast. We hope you enjoyed this insightful journey into the world of the American Mustang. Please share this episode and contact Matt anytime at matt.manroe@mustangchampions.org. And join us again for another episode of the Mustang Champions Insights podcast on the Equus Radio Network.